Vice-Admiral the Honourable Sir Henry Hotham KCB GCMG was officer of the British Royal Navy who served during the French Revolutionary, Napoleonic Wars, and the War of 1812, was later a member of the Board of Admiralty, and ended his career as Commander-in-Chief of the Mediterranean Fleet. Biography. French Revolutionary Wars. He was the youngest surviving son of Beaumont Hotham and Susanna, daughter of Sir Thomas Hankey. He joined the Navy in 1790, serving aboard Princess Royal, the flagship of his uncle Rear Admiral William Hotham. He went on to serve aboard Lizard, Lapwing, Victory and Eagle, and finally once again with his uncle, now a Vice-Admiral, aboard Britannia in the Mediterranean. Hotham was present as a midshipman at the Siege of Bastia in April to May 1794. He was subsequently commissioned as a lieutenant on 6 June 1794 and was given command of the prize sloop Flesch in November 1794. He was promoted to captain on 13 January 1795, in the prize frigate Mignon, and later commanded the 6th-rate Dido and the 5th-rate Blanche. Hotham was in command of Blanche on 5 February 1797 when she and inconstant Captain Thomas Fremantle captured the ship Fortune of Philadelphia. On 20 November 1797 he captured the French privateer brig Le Coureur of 14 guns and 90 men, after a 3-hour chase. On 27 December 1797, about 170 nmi west of Porto, he captured the Bayona, a French privateer brig of 6 guns and 40 men after a 16-hour chase. The brig had sailed from Bayonne 31 days previously and had made no captures. Blanche was paid off in August 1798, and Hotham was appointed to the frigate Immortalite in early 1800. He operated in the Bay of Biscay, taking several prizes. Late on the evening of 12 September 1800 he captured a small Spanish vessel laden with stone, but while boarding her observed 2 French privateer ships, Brave and Boulogne, coming out of the Gironde. He was obliged to scuttle the Spaniard to make chase. The French attempted to evade him during the night, but Hotham anticipated the movements and was still following the next day. Unfortunately he lost them the second night, having pursued them for 259 miles. However, on 20 September, he recaptured the English ship Monarch of 645 tons, laden with timber, which had been taken by Boulogne 4 days earlier. On the 22nd of September, off Cordouan Lighthouse, he chased a French brig, and by 9:30 p.m. had come within musket shot when both vessels unexpectedly grounded near Noirmoutier. The brig was wrecked, but Immortalite refloated herself the next morning, suffering nothing more serious than the loss of an anchor, cable, a boat. On the morning of the next day, the 24th, he spotted the French letter of marque schooner Constance, carrying a cargo of coffee and sugar from Guadeloupe to Bordeaux, but the privateer lugger Cynthia from Guernsey captured her before he could intervene. On 26 October 1800, Immortalite, in company with Thames and Bewley, captured the French privateer Diable au Quatre of 16 guns and 150 men, and on the 29th a letter of marque schooner, sailing from Guadeloupe to Bordeaux, with a cargo of coffee. Hotham was also present in Immortalite at the capture of the French frigate Dédaigneuse on 27 January 1801. He then, on 14 April 1801, captured the French privateer brig Law of 14 guns and 78 men. She was 15 days out of St. Malo, and had captured a Portuguese vessel sailing Bristol to Lisbon, and had made 17 other captures in previous cruises. On 27 July, assisted by the presence of the frigate Arethusa, he captured the Invention, an unusual privateer designed and commanded by M. Thibault. She was 147 feet long, but only 27 feet wide, with 4 masts, and carried 24 guns on a flush deck, and a crew of 210. She had sailed from Bordeaux 9 days before on her first cruise. Towards the close of the war in 1802, the Immortalite was blockading the port of Brest. Napoleonic Wars. Soon after the renewal of hostilities in May 1803, Hotham obtained command of the 40-gun frigate Impérieuse, and in the same year he recaptured a South Sea whaler, homeward bound in the Channel. He was appointed to the frigate Revolutionnaire in April 1804, conveying Prince Augustus Frederick, Duke of Sussex from Lisbon to Portsmouth in August. In September he escorted an outward-bound East India fleet, before proceeding to Halifax. On 1 December 1803 Impérieuse recaptured the ship Britannia, and on 4 November 1805 he assisted at the capture of 4 French ships by Sir Richard Strachan in the Battle of Cape Port Eagle. In March 1806 Hotham took command of the 74-gun Defiance, in the squadron of Rear-Admiral Robert Stopford. On 23 February 1809 Stopford's squadron fought 3 French frigates in the Battle of Les Sables-d'Olonne. The 3 French ships were anchored off the port under the protection of coastal batteries, but Defiance, Caesar and Donegal closed in, and fired on the French ships until forced to withdraw by the ebbing of the tide, damaging them to the extent that one was subsequently broken up, and the other 2 declared unfit for naval service and sold. Defiance was much cut up and had 2 men killed and 25 wounded. In 1807, Hotham was employed on the coast of Spain, cooperating with Spanish forces. On 24 June, shortly after the French withdrawal from the northwestern ports of Ferrol and Corunna, Hotham landed a detachment of seamen and marines to destroy various batteries commanding the bay, and also captured the castle of San Felipe, still under the command of French sympathizers. On 23 December 1809 Defiance recaptured the ship Ellison from the French. On 1 June 1810 he captured the French chasse Marie-Lan Nguyen, Eugene, and Saint-Yves. Hotham then took command of the ship Northumberland. On 5 November 1810 he recaptured the Zodiac, and on the 9th captured the Venus. On the 22nd of November 1810, he captured the French privateer Gletcheuse, of 14 guns and 85 men, after a 2-day pursuit, after preventing her from capturing a British packet ship. On the 4th of April 1811 he destroyed 2 chasse Maries, but not before removing 63 casks of wine from them. In 1812 Hotham was serving under Rear-Admiral Sir Harry Neale off Ushant, and was sent by him to cruise off Lorient, to intercept 3 expected French vessels. In the ensuing action on the 22nd of May Northumberland, assisted by the gun brig Growler, encountered the French frigates Ariane and Andromaque, both of 44 guns and 450 men, and the brig Mameluki, of 18 guns and 150 men, near the island of Groix. Hotham skillfully maneuvered his ships so as to force the enemy to ground themselves. Northumberland then opened a steady fire at point-blank range until the ships were abandoned and burning. In December 1812 Hotham was appointed captain of the fleet to Admiral Sir John Borlase Warren on the North American station. On 4 December 1813, he was promoted to Rear Admiral, and nominated a Colonel of Marines. For 4 June 1814 he served under Vice-Admiral Sir Alexander Cochrane. On 17 December 1814, he submitted to the Admiralty a list of 82 American vessels captured, burnt, and destroyed by the squadron between 6 August and 9 October 1814. This does not include the frigate US President. Captured by 4 ships of his squadron on 15 January 1815, Hotham was made a Knight Commander of the Most Honourable Military Order of the Bath on 2 January 1815, having his investiture on 12 April, the 100 days, on the renewal of the war in Europe, following Napoleon's return from Elba in March 1815. Hotham commanded a division of the Channel Fleet, flying his flag in Superb. In July 1815, Hotham was stationed in Quiberon Bay, from where he sent Captain Frederick Maitland in Bellerophon to blockade the port of Rochefort. Reinforced by Myrmidon and Slaney, Maitland prevented Napoleon from fleeing to the United States, and took him to England, from where he was sent to his final exile in St. Helena. Post-war career. On 25 March 1818, Hotham was appointed a member of the Board of Admiralty, his position being renewed in March 1819 and February 1822, serving until March 1822. On 28 May 1825 he was promoted to Vice-Admiral, and returned to serve on the Board of Admiralty in September 1828, renewed in June 1829 and July 1830, until November 1830. He was appointed Commander-in-Chief in the Mediterranean on 30 March 1831, and on 4 July 1831 was made a Knighthood Cross of the Order of St. Michael and St. George. One of Hotham's more notable acts as Commander-in-Chief was claiming a new territory for Britain. In July 1831, Commander Charles Henry Swinburne of Rapid reported a volcanic eruption and a column of vapor rising from the sea, some 26 miles off Chiaca, Sicily. Within a month it had grown into a roughly circular island of black volcanic sand about 3 miles in circumference, and 74 feet above sea level at its highest point. Hotham, in his flagship St. Vincent, sailed to the new island, and on 1 August sent his flag Captain Humphrey Fleming Senhouse ashore with a landing party to raise the Union flag, and claimed the island for Britain under the name Graham Island, after the First Lord of the Admiralty, Sir James Graham. Later the Sicilians also landed, hoisted a flag, and claimed the island under the name Ferdinandia, after King Ferdinand II of the Two Sicilies. The French made a claim to the island under the name Julia, as did the Spanish. Diplomatic arguments continued until December 1831, by which time the island had been washed away, leaving only a seamount 26 feet below the waves. Hotham died suddenly of an intracranial hemorrhage in Valletta, Malta, on 19 April 1833, and was buried at Msida Bastion Cemetery in Floriana on 24 April. Personal life. On 6 July 1816, Hotham married Lady Frances Anne Juliana Rouse, the only child of John Rouse, 1st Earl of Stradbroke, and his first wife Frances Juliana Warter Wilson. They had 3 sons: Reverend Henry John Hotham, Fellow of Trinity College, Cambridge; Reverend Frederick Harry Hotham, Rector of Rushbury, Shrewsbury;